I want to go over to this Piers Morgan conversation, y'all. I want to go over this Piers Morgan conversation because, um, this is something that's going viral. And I think her name was Lily Jillian or something like that. What's this chick's name? Lily Jillian or something? I don't know. But anyways, I'll keep you guys updated with the whole tariff situation and everything like that. But Piers Morgan. So Piers Morgan has been having these conversations about race a lot lately. He's recently interviewed Kanye West, and so Kanye walked off. He had Sneeko on. I seen Neon live streaming with Ye. I don't know, whatever, so on and so forth. And so I want to actually go over to this because I think that this is an uncomfortable conversation that people don't really want to have. But whatever makes you uncomfortable is the very thing that I want to start having a conversation about. So this is what happened on Piers Morgan, which also included Mark Lamont Hill and Myron Gaines. Shout out to Myron Gaines. So this is the conversation that was had over there on Piers Morgan's Uncensored show.
Smooth, not the app.
It's been systematic racism. As much as Black people and people of color want to talk about systematic racism in the United States, it's quite the opposite. They get preferential treatment when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting into colleges. White people, on the other hand, have been getting attacked relentlessly. Look at 2016 and BLM and all the riots. We just had to sit back and watch people burn down our cities and do nothing about it. So the way to fight back against essentially this anti-white hatred that's been systemically, ingrained in U.S. society is with white unity. We don't see white unity on
hang on. Okay, but hang on. Sorry, just to be clear.
So before Piers gets in and changes the dynamic of the conversation, do you guys agree or do you disagree that the narratives and the tables have now been changed, and it's been that way for a long time, probably the last 20 years or so, to where everything is systematically against white people? I've said for a long time, and people have disagreed with me, and that's fine if you disagree, but I've said for a long time that the most targeted person in society today is the straight, heterosexual white man. Y'all agree? The most targeted person, the most hated person, until y'all get tired of black men and getting that BBC, then you want to divest. The most hated person in the United States of America today is the heterosexual white man. Yes, really. Yes, really. Lovely says this isn't our fight to care. Well, why isn't it our fight to care? Because everything that we do, we make it about race. What they were discussing in this particular clip and what she was referencing is the woman that called the child the N-word. And what I said on the Monday night show, and I also said it on Tuesday's night show, maybe we'll have a conversation on After Hours tonight, is I said that white people were getting tired. They were silently talking amongst themselves, and they were getting tired about always acquiescing over to black people, especially the black women, when they always claim racism for everything. And it doesn't mean that they're right on some of the things that they say, right? It doesn't mean that they're right on everything that they do. But what I am noticing is that there is now a revolt against black people that are claiming racism for everything, when you now have white people saying, you know what? We so tired of y'all trying to be victims. We so tired of y'all claiming racism with everything. We so tired of y'all being openly racist against us. We are now going to be back openly racist against you guys. And listen. I think it was what's my man's name? The actor. Morgan Freeman. I think it was Morgan Freeman that said it when he said, if you want to stop racism, then you need to stop talking about it. And as much as people didn't want to accept it, as much as people rejected it, as much as people completely missed what he was trying to communicate, I personally believe that he was right. if you want to eliminate racism, then you have to stop making everything about race. And of course, the blackity blacks came in and they said, no, we're going to continue to talk about it until we get equal. Well, what happens when you back a dog into a corner and you continue to beat on him when he was running away from you? What happens when you back a dog into a corner? Eventually, he gonna start growling, he gonna bite back, and people are not gonna like it. And what's gonna happen is it's just gonna make things exponentially worse. And then they're gonna blame white people for this whole race war when everything that black people do, whenever it's a white people involved, then y'all always make it about race. Every single time. If you keep making everything about race, what do you think that people are going to ultimately do when they get tired of you making it about race? Is at some point they're going to be like, all right, what else do you want? And then you go say, I want more. I want equal. I want you to shut up. I want you to acknowledge it. I want white people to go to black businesses. I want white people to bow down. I want white people to protest. And they said, okay, black girl, you got this. Okay, black girl, we got this. Okay, black women, we going to protest against Trump. Okay, black women, this. Okay, black women, that. What do you think that they're going to eventually do? How do you think that that's going to play out? What you think that they people too. You think that they just going to roll over and be like, you know what? Y'all can have the country. We're going to leave the country and leave it up to you. If every single thing, most of which is not even about race, becomes about race, if you can be openly racist and say some of the most egregious things about people that didn't even enslave you, and they have to keep taking accountability for the things that their ancestors did, what exactly do you think is going to happen eventually? Eventually, you'll get Lily here. And Lily went viral before, I think a couple years ago or over a year ago. Lily went viral for saying the N-word openly because she was one of them trad wives and went viral. And then she said the N-word. And now she finds herself on Piers Morgan. And guess what? She not scared no more. White people are not afraid to get canceled because they not tripping off of y'all no more. They don't care anymore. They gonna tell you exactly what they feel. They not gonna just have a conversation in the living room, and you can get mad if you want to, but eventually they gonna say what they really believe, and this is how it's gonna play out. And then they gonna say this: do something about it. Do something about it. That woman that called that kid the N-word, she had raised over 700,000. I heard that it had got up to over $1 million. Some people said, "Oh well, they canceled it." What you think that they're gonna find other ways to be able to get that money over to her? But you think that all of them people is cool? They don't care nothing about that money. They don't care nothing about that money. Eventually, they're gonna say, you know what? All right, cool. You racist, I'm racist, we racist. Let's do it. And this is what she had to say about it.
This has got nothing to do with anything you've just said. This is a disgusting racist woman who repeatedly spews the N-word, first at a young child, and then at the person taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist. And so I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything that you've just said. She's just a racist. End, isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
It's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
it is about her
coming together and supporting another white person. And it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. She is, I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frankly.
He thought he had caught her up. He thought that she was going to be like, no, listen, I see where you're trying to go with this, Piers, and I'm not going to hit it. She said, yep. Mm-hmm. And I do it all the time. Now what? What you gonna do? Now do something. I'm on your platform telling you that I don't care nothing about what you're talking about, and I'm standing on it. Now what? And she said, and I do it. Let me replay it for you because I don't have to explain it to you. She said it out of her own mouth.
But you also have to be accountable for what you say. She is, I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frequently.
You use the M-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, well, if you use the M-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
Oh, and what you gonna do about it? And what? Now what? Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What y'all gonna protest again? Let me guess. What you gonna do? You gonna cancel her? I told y'all that this was gonna happen. I told y'all how it was gonna play out. I told y'all how this thing was going to shake out. Y'all keep thinking that you gonna do something. You ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna be on the keyboard. You gonna type hard. You gonna get mad. You gonna share it with your friends. You gonna rewatch it. And then you're gonna sit right there in your side of your living room and you're gonna go to sleep like a baby. You're gonna go to work the next morning. Because you got to get up and go to work next morning. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing. And I respect her because she stood on it. I don't trip off of people that say what they are. That just gives me more insight on how it is that I need to deal with you. Do I think that she a good person? No, I don't think that she a good person. I think that she a horrible person. But I respect the fact that she said what she said and she didn't lie and she didn't back down from it. She was absolutely transparent. Okay, cool. Now I know exactly how it is that I need to deal with it. But I respect that more than people that lie to my face and try to act like they cool with me and they're not really cool with me and they talking about me behind my back. We don't have to be friends. I know exactly what it is that this is. I'm cool with that. And I don't believe in censorship because I don't want to be censored myself. So I don't believe in censoring and canceling other people. Cancel culture is dead. Cancel culture is dead. I know where you stand now. Cool. I'd rather deal with a person like that to know exactly where I stand with them than to deal with a person that's smiling in front of my face and gonna stab me in front of my back, slap me behind my back, and they may look like me. Stand on that. She stood on it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks?
Why are we talking about? Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
So,
well, shame on white people for allowing themselves to be systematically discriminated against in the United States. This is our country. This is a country that should be.
What do you mean your country?
Because I'm white and my.
Well, there are no black people in American history. Is that what you're saying? That they've all just landed in America, invading
Yes.
your white country. Is that your position?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm
How do you argue with somebody that's not like? Have you ever tried to argue with a YN? Like, man, you ain't about to convince them or something. What you gonna do? Man, you're despicable. They're gonna be like, that's nice. So what else you got for me, big dog? Either you got something or you gonna get out of my neighborhood or what? She don't care nothing about what y'all think. She is standing on business with her super blue eyes and her long hair. And I will tell you another thing. You want to know something else? Y'all want to know something else? Y'all not gonna like this part. Y'all not gonna like this part. You want to know something else? There is no shortage of black men that will absolutely bust her down and wipe her up. Did I just say that part out loud? Did I just say that part out loud? There is no shortage of black men that will absolutely, positively bust her down, wife her up, and would have her have their baby. And they still prefer her over you. So miss me with your fake outrage. Miss me with your fake outrage. I don't care nothing about what you saying because it is 100% true. And I stand on it. I stamp it. I rubber stamp it. I put my brand on it that there is no shortage of black kings that will 100% still choose her. Choose her European. Let me get her on the big screen. Give me a second. Let me show you what she looked like. Hold on. You think they ain't taking them eyes? And that fair skin? You think they ain't taking them eyes in that fair skin? Listen, don't you ain't got a lot of me, nigga. I know what you about. I know, listen, the Lord gave me discernment, and I know the spirit of a man, especially a black man. Look, don't try to be politically correct with me now. Y'all was just getting on me because I said that I have a preference, not that I'm stopping anybody else from liking or rocking out with who they want to rock out with. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care if you bumping coochies or if you rubbing Harry's. I don't care. Y'all was just mad at me because Anton said that he actually prefers, from a sexual, from an emotional, from a marriage perspective, black women. And y'all got mad at me. And y'all literally held me accountable inside of the chat and said, well, Anton, tell me why you like them. What? Hey, I got to justify to you why I like a black woman. Y'all just got done trying to hold me accountable for saying that I like a black woman. Even though I've been married to one for the last 2 decades. And now you want to sit here and act like, oh, no, it's cool. It's cool. You see how we did that? You see how we did that 360, that reverse 360 that we just did for y'all? No, I want the same energy. I remember some of y'all names. Don't go through and try to erase what you said in the chat before. Don't try to erase what you said in the chat before. I want the same energy. Oh, now you love black women. Y'all kill me, man. Y'all a mess, bro. Y'all a mess. Y'all a mess. Stop. See, I knew that when we eventually got to this part of the show that we would see a little bit of backtracking. And let me be clear for the 30th time in this particular live stream. I support you going where you're celebrated, not when you tolerate it. I support people doing whatever it is that they want to do and marrying whoever it is, as long as you are not breaking the law and doing things that is not right when it comes to the greater good of society. But miss me with your fake outrage. You're all fake. All fake. Fake outrage. And guess what? Nobody is going to do nothing to her, including Mark Lamont Hill.